question, where are all the good men? Well, they're tired of getting foodie calls. They're tired of being friend zoned.
We don't want who don't want us.
They're already at 63% of men under 30 who have just left the dating market.
What she doesn't specify is that they're leaving the Western dating market.
Do you have kids?
I do. I have 2 boys.
So I called my baby's father and asked him if he could get my lights turned on for me. He said no, because I have a husband and that's his responsibility. And you have kids that stay here.
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get into this.
Here's some tough love for today. You're wondering where all the good men are, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you. They're pretty much everywhere. At work, at school, at home, at the grocery store, wherever you can think of. But the problem is, women are not able to find them anymore, and there's a very important reason why that is. We do a lot of research daily on dating and dating advice and what's out there right now, and what we find is unfortunately horrifying. The advice that's out there that's given to women to be successful in love is ridiculous. And all these women go on a date and use these new tactics they just learned about to be successful in love. And you know what happens? It backfires, because a good man can sense that from a mile away.
Yeah, like woman going out and saying, I demand a man take me here. I demand a man take me to Benihana's. I demand a man to buy me something if he takes me to a mall chain restaurant, right? Sprinkle, sprinkle. So, yes, men are done with it. Men are getting tired of it. And men hear all of these things. Men have social media. We're not living on planet Pluto. We're living on Earth with you, talking your ridiculous nonsense, and we know it all.
Mile away. So let's go back to our original question, where are all the good men? Well, they're tired of getting foodie calls. They're tired of being friend zoned. They're tired of approaching women and getting rejected over and over again. And they don't want to do it anymore. And some of them are, you know what, I gave up on dating. Just like most good women out there say the same thing. So let's change dating for the better and stop all the games and the manipulation tactics. Good men will not fall for that. Just like good women should not fall for any of the games or the booty calls or whatever it is. Let's do better.
See, this is the wild thing, what she said. She said good women shouldn't fall for it, but they do. We hear them complaining all the time. I'm getting tired of men trying to use me. That's what the game has come to. And why is it a game anyway? Why do men have to play games? Because if men aren't playing games, they're not getting ahead. They're not getting anything from you. And also, men are not getting anything anyway. No loyalty, no true hard work into the relationship. Because why should a man give all and you give nothing?
So y'all, please help me understand this. My lights got turned off. So I called my baby's father and asked him if he could get my lights turned on for me. He said no, because I have a husband and that's his responsibility. How is that his responsibility to pay my lights to get turned back on after they get turned off? And you have kids that stay here.
Because he's your husband. Why can't your husband pay? Oh, I get it. She looks like she may have left her man and got one of those dudes that just got out of jail. You know they be saving him. Woman like her saving him. Has kids, everything. Has him living with the kids. Could you imagine? Now the husband doesn't know that, but this is what they do. And he goes over there and finds out, wow, he needs to take the kids. Because that's what he needs to do. If she's requesting, he pays bills in the home. Let him take the kids until you get on your feet.
You don't care about your kids? I understand that I have a husband, granted, don't beat me up over it, but we fell on hard times. So as my baby's father, I feel like you're supposed to pick up the slack.
Degenerate mother.
So you rather for your kids to be in the dark than to help your baby mother get her lights turned back on? What if I didn't have a husband? Would you have helped me then? These men is crazy. Sir, help me get my lights turned on. Don't worry about my husband. He's doing what he's supposed to do as a man. As my baby daddy, you should be helping me.
How's he doing what he's supposed to do as a man? Making you orgasm? I mean, really? What else is he doing? He's not paying the bills. This is wild that she requires her baby daddy to pay her bills, and she most likely left him. 9 times out of 10, she left him, or he could have left her, but still, 9 times out of 10, she could have left him. Most likely divorce, anything. But no, he shouldn't pay anything. He's not obligated to. He's not with you. And he doesn't have any respect for your situation. I wouldn't expect him to. What's wrong with you?
It's always, it'll happen when the time is right. It'll happen when you're least expecting it. I'm tired of being rejected. And this is in every facet, like not even romantic relationships, which, by the way, what the why am I the only one left out? I feel so rejected in every corner of my life right now. New moon, full moon, bullshit. I don't know what's happening. What the actual like, don't tell me any it's gonna happen when you least expect it. It's gonna happen as it's meant to be. Okay.
Look, whatever you did, whatever you've been doing, stop doing it. Men say it all the time. If you have been chasing the bag, hear me out. Because all of you are doing it. And you're facing Shang Ye and don't realize it. You're getting older. You look old. Man, you should have married right away. That's what happened. You went to corporate America and said, oh, I can't wait to get money. And didn't look at your mother. I know, it's crazy. You should have looked at your mother and said, and saw how old your mother looked. So say if your mother was, because you've seen it. I don't know how old your mother is, though. She could be 40 years older than you. But say if she had you and she was 20-something and you were in your teens, I don't know. Because, these parents, and a lot of times white parents, are having their children later in years. So she probably was dealt a bad hand because she couldn't see. But still, you got to see. Look at the woman in your family and say, yeah, we don't have those genes. I need to get me a man. But still, it's hard because the feminism has every woman believing they still have time. And she feels it, though. I feel bad for her because she was lied to. Everyone around her is lying to her, saying it'll be all right. No, I feel her. It's not all right. Shout her to the mountaintops, but then also do something about it. Work on dressing better. I'm looking at you right now. You look like a wreck, and you're crying at that. You look like you don't know how to dress. You don't know how to put makeup on. A lot of things, and makeup is not everything, but you guys know what I'm saying. A lot of things are holding you back, and we all can see it. It's visible.
I'll eat them for breakfast. I mean, I'll finish them off in 24 hours. I also need someone to handle me. And only an alpha or a double alpha can do that.
Yes, men are out. The guy's even holding the camera and not dealing with a double alpha. Get out of here.
And then she wasn't even our waitress. This pops around the corner and she tells Derek, "Oh, you're here on the weekend. That's different. And you're not with your partner. You're with a woman."
Oh, he thought he was gay?
No, talk about Mike.
Oh, yeah.
And then she looks at me with my fresh bedhead, looking like straight. I like your hair, and I'm like, this is so lying. Get the out of here. As she proceeds to talk to Derek, and he's like, get the away. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Damn.
That's probably not what he was thinking, but the competition. She's at that age, boy. She can't compete. And her just being nice to her husband. Give her the chills. You should, though. You should get the chills. You should be very worried. Why? Because these young girls will take your husband. And yes, they want husbands nowadays. All the guys watching know about it. They will date your husband, give it to your husband, and smile as he's doing it. But a loud smile, but a very bright smile. Why? Because they want what someone else has. That's these modern women nowadays. And yes, they will take your man. Be cautious.
So, guys, any questions for her? Okay.
Do you have kids?
I do. I have 2 boys.
Okay.
10 and 5.
What?
Why'd you end up popping?
Oh, the kids. It's the kids thing. Yeah. And the distance too. Yeah. How do you spend your free time?
So I have a 12-year-old daughter. That's like what we do, like mommy daughter day.
Another one.
Why'd you end up popping?
It's the kids thing for me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
I don't have any kids, and I it's just a personal preference for me.
And then for you, sir?
Right. Why'd you end up popping?
It's just the kids. Man, guys are not playing that. They know. How do you spend your free time? Oh, with my daughter. That means you don't have any free time. Like, who are you kidding? You're not spending free time. You're struggling. Guys know. Guys don't want to deal with that problem. You're in need. Even if you're not, you're in need. You're desperate for a man. Why? Because what's happening right now? They're not choosing you. And men don't have to. All of the options available to men, why deal with it?
Black men feel that we are disrespectful. Black men feel that we are not feminine. Black men feel that a lot of us don't look the part. And physically. And I want to talk about it. So, first of all, good morning. It is 7-something in the morning and I sound like Barry White. I have no makeup on. I'm still in my pajamas, but none of y'all, to my surprise, were criticizing me based on my appearance. So we're gonna roll with it. But a lot of y'all stitched my video, and I want to know that as a Black woman, I think so many of us want to be heard, that I was so happy to hear, well, not happy, because some of y'all really just kind of dogged me out, but I respected so many male opinions on my video. Some of y'all took a few words and just ran with it, and there was no change in your mind. You know, it is what it is. But a lot of y'all, I felt like, gave very valuable insight as into how Black men feel, whether they're high value or not. Unfortunately, I need to do a little bit more research on what high value means, because I don't know if it just has to do with money or if it also has to do with personality or looks, etc., or a combination of the three. So I wouldn't say all of these men were probably high value men. But like I said, as a woman who cares so much about the Black community, and just Black love in general, because that video was a response to how I felt after listening to Dr. Umar on The Breakfast Club this week. I do care about what Black men think, and I'm acknowledging that. So the first thing, a lot of y'all felt that we were disrespectful. I unfortunately have to agree with you. Or maybe that's not unfortunate, but because I think me saying that means that I have to take accountability for my actions. And I think that some of my friends or some of the other women I know, or rather they're...
I think what she's saying sounds good to me so far. When she said that word, I need to take accountability, because that's the problem with women of this complexion and darker, right? Taking accountability. Most will not do it. And the way she's talking, right? She doesn't have her makeup on right now. If that's how she looks, she's halfway decent. She's talking without being aggressive, right? Guys are going to be aggressive towards her because you decided to talk about this, but you're being humble. You're humbling yourself down. This is a great look so far.
real relationships or parasocial relationships, we have to take accountability that no matter how much money a man makes, no matter what he looks like or whatever, everybody deserves respect, especially initially or before they show disrespect to you. I think that as a woman that works really hard, I don't want to come home and be that same way at home. So I've never really been big on arguing with my partner, going back and forth, talking over my partner, all that kind of stuff. Because when I come home, my house is so nice. Like, I want it to be peaceful. So I want my man to have peace as well. So I'm not doing all that. If we can't talk and communicate in a way to understand each other, as opposed to like who's right and who's wrong, that's bad. Okay, that's just we're damned as a couple. But I would not put it past me being that way in the past. And unfortunately, I do know a lot of friends that have been disrespectful. I've even had to check myself being disrespectful to men. One time it was so bad, I literally apologized to the guy and I was like, I'm so sorry. I really feel like there was a better way I communicated that. But it was like a sexual issue. And I know men are very sensitive in that department. And I had to check myself and be like, I felt like I was disrespectful in how I handled that. He didn't accept my apologies, but I still had to apologize. But I do believe in speaking, love into your partner. I do believe in
See, she's saying a lot of good things. She talks for about 10 minutes. So I'm not going to finish this off, but so far so good. We need more like you. I haven't heard your last speech, but so far so good. You're humbling yourself. That's what you need to do to get a man. Be humble. Be calm. Don't be vigilant. Don't say, oh, I need a man to provide this, that. Because that right there backfires. Just like the last lady said. Men can't be tricked nowadays, right? You can't trick a man into believing you're one way. You're feminine. You're a woman that will listen. A woman that's understanding, and you're not showing it. Men are all about action. We're not about feelings, right? Of course we have feelings, but we check that at the door. So talking like this, it seems like you're trying to get a man. It does. It seems like you're trying to get a man, and that's the first step, right? Getting on social media and saying to all men, I give up. Seriously. This is what has to be done now. So men know to differentiate the two. So now if a man says, you know what? I think I like her. They may slide in the inbox. Or may not. Why? Because men are dumb. But still, men won't mind sliding in the inbox. That's not talking to you in public. And you seem like you're ready to be approached. So hopefully that happens. But no, really, all in all, keep a good head on your shoulders. Stay humble. And if you don't have a man now, you will find one soon.
Oh, this one's going to ruffle some feathers, but I'm going to be completely honest.
So what I'd like to know, in this dating world for people like over 50, like, have men just kind of given up with the trying to date and the courting and all that?
The short and sweet answer to your question is yes. Yes, they have. They've given up. They're done. They're walking away.
Is it so bad out there, like, that you guys have just given up?
No, bad doesn't even begin to cover it. Toxic, we could start with that.
Because, like, everybody I talk to says they go out on a date, and if the guy's buying dinner, then by the end of the night, he's saying, well, like, if I buy dinner, then I expect to have sex.
And there it is. Everybody you talk to. My gut feeling is, and I think it's obvious, everybody means women. Not men, women. And you're making assumptions based on what women are telling other women men are thinking, instead of listening to men.
First of all, as if, mother, like, that ain't happening.
And there's that toxicity I mentioned earlier. As if. Your assumption is that that's what all men are thinking and wanting. That's not the reality, but that's what you're working from. That's the premise. So why would any man, a good man, ever put himself in that position when the first response you're going to have is as if. Are there cads out there, guys who would do that? Sure there are, but they are few and far between. But that doesn't matter. What matters is you're going to apply that label to every single man. And then, of course, there's the other side of it. There's women who try and sleep with men on the first date, but we don't talk about them. We label all men, but if you mention even one woman, it's but, it's not us. It's not fair to label all of us like that. It's a huge double standard. And speaking of double standards.
Okay, now if you put on your profile, I am not interested in a relationship, and if I buy you dinner, I would like to have at the end of the evening. Hey, good on you.
Seriously, you actually think guys would do that? Some guys might. Not the guys you want, or is it? Because the guys that would do that, they're the ones with the six-figure incomes, the six-pack abs, the 6-inch you-know-what. And they do that because they can, because they know women will respond to that. The average decent guy, the ones you claim you want, the ones you reject out of hand because they don't fit the sixes, they're not going to post something like that because that's not their expectation.
Oh, I love puppies and picnics in the park, and then you take somebody to dinner and you pull that. Well, you know what? You're just a dumb.
And there's the final clue for you. You assume that all guys are like that, so therefore all men are dumb. Why would any man want to date someone who thinks that way? That would be pure insanity on his part. It's why men are walking away. They're done, not just over 50, but at any age.
You know what's funny? That lady is old. And instead of her trying to figure out, because look, with age comes wisdom, right? So I figure a wise woman would say, let me see for myself, because she knows what you hear. A lot of it may be lies or far from the truth or somewhat false, right? That's common sense. Like when people get older, they know that they can't have a lot of friends. They learn that. So instead of you being a smart person and investigating and then making your own conclusions, not assumptions, but conclusions, because what you're doing right now is giving statements based off what you've heard. Can't do that. Not at your age. Grow up already. You sound like one of those young girls. They get on TikTok doing that. What are you, 50? Crazy.
We really need to own the responsibility that we have for tearing up the dating and marriage scene.
You can cut to the chase with pornography, and many men took advantage of the opportunity in lockdown. Fast forward 2 years later, the habit has been formed, and the men are drastically.
Oh man, she's blaming men for what happened. She's blaming men. If anything, men use pornography as an out to cope, right? To cope with it. I mean, I wouldn't suggest doing that because you already know the best suggestion is to stay focused and not use porn to get over, right? But use abstinence as a way to get over, to go into your productivity. It's hard to do. I'm not going to say it's easy, but give it a try.
Different.
The men are different, but what about the women? We're considerably different as well.
False identity of women and the increasing apathy of men, to say the least.
That's not fair to sit there and blame men's apathy on all of this. We have a huge part in this. Let's not gloss over that. Rules, laws, and regulations that were meant to help women are now being severely abused by many of us, and in turn, it's torn up men, so why would they want to get with us?
Gen Z and young millennials are just not getting married. Unfortunately, I don't have a feel-good solution for you. I personally think Gen Z and younger millennial men may be a lost cause.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. Gen Z and millennial men are a lost cause? Imagine if a man said that about Gen Z and millennial women. Oh, they're no good anymore, so just put them out to pasture. Just forget about them. That's exactly what men are talking about. They're tired of being treated like disposable cutlery or something.
And we are already at 63% of men under 30 who have just left the dating market.
What she doesn't specify is that they're leaving the Western dating market.
My point exactly.
And that is because Western women are out of line.
If we don't
Yes.
change course now, that statistic will reach 100% in no time.
Stop pointing the finger at everything and everyone else and start looking in. It starts with being honest and taking responsibility.
Wow, she's very aware. She said it. She said they didn't leave the date market. They've left the Western date market. You know what's funny? I'm the beginning of millennials, the end of Gen X, right? And I was one of the first. I was one of the first guys many years ago. This happened 10 years ago to jump on a plane and say, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. And man, and she's right. I'm happy she pointed that out because she makes my point exactly. When you get out, men notice, wow, it's a big difference. Seriously, I was doing interviews and I do interviews in the way the women are, right? The things they say, they're naturally soft. No matter, even if they're rebellious, right? Want to work and get the bag, because that happens here. There's women like that. They're still softer. It's night and day from the Western modern woman. I'm not trying to say all are hard, but damn, a great majority.
Okay, good morning, ladies. So I just saw a video of this girl, and she's basically talking about how she saw this guy. She found him to be very attractive, and she's basically figuring out ways to throw herself at him or put him in her proximity. And I just feel like everything that I've learned, because I am TikTok and YouTube educated on this, that's a big no-no. And Sharia and other content creators that want women to win, they don't want us to be pick-me's, they would not want us doing this. It's okay to find a man attractive, but it does not go beyond that. It does not go beyond that unless he takes it beyond that. Unless he takes the initiative to approach us, okay? We don't want who don't want us.
I wonder who stayed single.
So we may find somebody attractive, but that's it. It doesn't go beyond that, okay?
No, you actually don't have a choice as a woman. You have to get with the man who wants you. I mean, she's right. Her whole mindset is flawed. Her whole mindset is dead wrong. But what she said is right. You don't choose. And I think the ladies out there trying to choose ends up heartbroken. Like one of the first ladies, the white lady. She doesn't dress well. She probably wants a handsome guy, and you know, it doesn't fit. It doesn't work. A guy has to want you. You have to be desired. Then you can try your little sprinkle stuff, all of those things, as she was explaining. But it's not going to work anyway because men are not playing. Men are done. Somebody tell us. I think she's still stuck in the sprinkle era. Bring her back to this day and age, and she'll realize I have no chance.
If you want to stress a man out, it's not that hard. Just text him and be like, I don't think I like you right now. I just don't think I like you. And then he's going to respond and he's going to be like, oh, you know, why? Like, what did I do? What's wrong? Whatever. And just go to work. Or wherever you got to do. Run an errand and like delete whatever app you use to text him on. Or just go and do not disturb. I'm about to go to work right now. Let's see at 7. I'm stressed out.
So she's trying it right now. But let me tell you something. Guys are watching. That's why I chose to show this video. So guys can see this is one of the games that they try to run. So this is what guys do. If they're talking to someone and this happens to them, they go, oh, I remember. That's exactly what happens. I remember. Now, do you know how many I remembers happened before I left and came over here and married my wife? A ton of I remembers. Living in New York, oh, I remember. Oh, I remember. Oh, I remember. Yeah. And when you have those kind of negative, when you're reminiscent in a negative way, that's when men say, I'm done. And more men are saying they're done in this day and age because they realize it's definitely more to life than dealing with a woman like that.
I am leaving and I am never coming back.